In this video, I'm gonna share with you my top 3 favorite lures for walleye. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, if you got walleyes in your body of water and you use these 3 lures, you'll probably catch some walleye. Before we get started, the clips that you are seeing are from when I went out fishing weeks ago and only caught 1 or 2 fish, which is not enough for a full video, so I put them in here for you to have fish catching and not just me talking. Plus, I've been real busy the past 4 weeks with sports, and now with school starting up again, I'll be even busier. But I'll try to post these kinds of videos if I don't go out fishing, if you guys enjoy them. With that being said, let's move on to my top 3 favorite lures in no particular order. The first lure I got on my list is the grub. The grub will basically catch anything from small panfish to good-sized smallies, but more importantly, it will catch you some walleye. Now, I like to fish my 3-inch grub on a 1/4 ounce jig head, but you can go larger on the length of the grub if you please. And in terms of colors, I find that I catch most of my walleye on bright orange or a chartreuse color. The grub basically works anywhere, but if you want the walleye, then I suggest you find some moving water and or rocky bottom, and just slowly reel in the grub, keeping it near the bottom. Now, I ain't no professional fishing guide, so you can fish wherever you think the walleye are, but I've had the most success in moving water and or rocky bottoms. If you would like proof, go check out my first ever YouTube video linked in the description. Now, the grub is for numbers, but when I want biggins, I'm talking about 24 to 30-inch walleyes, I am gonna be whipping out the ripple worm. We don't know the actual name of it, so we're just gonna call it the ripple worm, because basically all it is a worm with ripples on it. Basically, the ripple worm is fished in similar conditions as the grub, moving water, but instead of rocky bottom where it's all snaggy, I had most success fishing it in flat rock bottoms. You can fish the ripple worm like the grub, slow rolling it along the bottom, but since you aren't as prone to getting snagged fishing a flat rocky bottom, I like to hop it along the bottom. As for colors, I like the ones where half of it is dark purple and the other half of it is light purple, just because I think with this color combo and the technique you are working the worm, being hopping it along the bottom, most accurately represents a dying worm in the water. The last lure on my list is a great search bait. It is a lure that I will throw 9 times out of 10 when the walleye are being super finicky and not biting, or when the bite is just about to slow down. And that lure is the flicker shad. Is so loud and obnoxious, it gets the walleye to bite even if it's not in the mood to eat. The flicker shad I tend to use the most is a medium diving, so it dives from 10 to 12 feet. And in terms of colors, I usually lean towards the brighter colors, so the perch color or fire tiger pattern. Working a flicker shad is pretty simple. I mean, ideally you want a rocky bottom and you just cast it out there, reel it back in, and I personally like to reel in my flicker shad so that it's bouncing off all the rocks at the bottom of the lake, which proceeds to end in a reaction strike from the walleye. When it comes to retrieve speed on a flicker shad, I tend to reel it in at a medium speed, but it's really up to the fish. I mean, you can just fool around with the speed, but it really depends on what the fish want. The one good thing about these flicker shads is that they float, so if you do get stuck on a rock or something, let out some line and it should float up to the surface, saving you $12 to $14 depending on which one you buy. Yeah, these flicker shads are not cheap at all. And that right there are my top 3 favorite walleye lures. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I'd much appreciate that, and let me know down in the comments what are your guys' favorite walleye lures. I'll see you in the next one.